Hello.
Hello.
This is Yackez Life Talk. I am Larissa.
I'm Jon. Poppy Jon.
That's right. Sometimes I'm referred to as Twitter or Gadusa and many other fun names.
We are Yackez.
Yackez.
So, what are we talking about today? What's today's episode?
Today's episode name is Keeping Vibes Up While Battling Blank.
Okay.
You can fill it in. What are you battling? A lot of folks are battling a lot of things right now.
A lot of people are battling blanks.
We're going to start with a quick update. Our first episode of this new podcast series, Yackez Life Talk, we did a big medical update for me.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just going to start with a quick check-in about that for those that know us and know me and have been asking. Thank you so much for your well wishes and your concern. I am now 15 weeks post total shoulder replacement surgery. Thank you for that applause.
Light applause.
Thank you there.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to report, I'm going to celebrate some wins in that regard. We were just on a little vacation in Delaware. We were at a record shop. And, when you're at a record shop, the bins of records are about chest height. I was never able to reach and sort through and pull records with my right arm. I was able to do that. I was even able to pull the records out with the right arm. And, that was just a big moment of noticing, wow, there's a change.
Yeah, you've even avoided record shops. Going through records, which is something that you've always loved due to it being hard on your shoulder. Yeah.
So I am at the point in PT now of being able to work with pulleys that raise the arm. So I'm not able to raise my arm high on my own. Not only there's no strength, but the tissue over the 3 years of disability is so tight I can't do it. But I can do it on a pulley. So we have pulleys at home. And on the cancer front, radiation happened. I was supposed to have 10 visits of radiation. It's called fractions. That's like the daily visit. I had ended up having 13 because halfway through, I absolutely observed that it wasn't really working. And I can say that because this has been my fourth time having radiation. And it generally creates immediate relief. Mm-hmm. I've always been told that multiple myeloma cells are quick dying. Like they call it some weird thing, like they're suicide rate or something. Like they die off rather quickly. They in my case, they show up rather quickly. They die off rather quickly. But halfway through radiation, there was not much relief. And in fact, the thing was getting bigger. And they said, it was probably inflammation. But I trusted, it's not even my gut. I was just like, no, every time I've had radiation, I get immediate relief. This isn't working. What can we do? And thankfully, the doctors paid attention. They increased the amount of days, 3 more days, and up the dosage. And they decided that on the fly very quickly, and immediately it started to make a shift. It actually didn't really start to take hold until after the radiation was over. And every day, it's almost like every morning I would wake up from sleep and the tumor, also called a lesion on the chest, on my sternum, was smaller. And now it's gone. I mean, it's kind of wild. Every day I do sort of touch it. It's like, it's flat. It's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So radiation worked really well, almost more well than everyone was predicting, because not only obviously it dealt with the area, but all of my multiple myeloma blood markers lowered to at one point remission level, which was amazing and also a little surprising. And for a moment, the doctors were like, "Oh my goodness, are you going to be eligible for CAR T?" Which is the next big treatment that I'm going to have, because I was practically showing up lab-wise in remission. So this was astounding. And yeah, I'm getting a PET scan tomorrow to find out any last little where is this multiple myeloma lurking in the body, to know exactly where it is. And then by this Friday, going into light dose chemotherapy for 3 days and then a day of rest, and then being admitted to Mount Sinai Uptown East Hospital for the CAR T. So, yeah, it's like I've been waiting for this. We've been, sitting, going through this process, waiting for this to finally happen. And here it is.
Here it is.
Yeah.
It'll be a week in the hospital, then 3 weeks near the hospital.
Yes. And then 4 weeks kind of pretty much quarantined and healing at home. And Jon is going to... You need to have a 24-hour caregiver to monitor you because there could be neurological symptoms that happen. All of the symptoms that happen, fevers, inflammation, neurological symptoms can all be reversed, but they have to be caught absolutely immediately. So Jon is going to play a serious role as a 24-hour caregiver. Thanks, honey.
Which will annoy you to no end.
I love it. It annoys me, not him. No, I mean, yeah. And we are actually going to have a podcast episode about this. The deep complexity, the beauty, and the trials and tribulations of caregiving, right?
Yeah. For
both the caregiver and the caregivee. It's intense. We're adults, right? We don't relinquish control very easily. Oh my God. Speaking of which, we saw the Pee Wee Herman documentary, which is on Max right now. Pee Wee Herman as himself. That's what it's called, right? Or is it Paul Rubens as himself?
I think it's Pee Wee as himself.
It's Pee Wee as himself. See this documentary. It's amazing. It's so eye-opening. Such a figure of for our age of our lives, and to hear his final words before dying of cancer. It's amazing, and wow, control freak. Woo. It's incredible. It was really inspiring. I think it's inspiring for anyone on all levels, but particularly for artists. Artists should be watching this. It's just incredible. So that's the medical update, everybody. I tend to reach out to people more when isolated as a coping mechanism in the hospital. So I think I'm going to be, quacking on the internet, different things, and reaching out more. And also so that you're not going to be able to be with me 24 hours a day while I'm in there, and I want you to rest. And so then, yeah, I'm going to be texting and being online and all that.
And during that week, you're going to be doing different strategies to keep your vibes up.
Exactly.
While battling disease.
Yeah. While coping with, while trying to hamper down and take down disease, I'm going to be keeping my vibes up. And that's what this podcast episode is about.
Right.
And we're taking it away for you, Jon. You are by my side through all of this. You've also battled your own.
Yeah, liver disease. For 7 years.
Yeah. And how is it that you keep your vibes up?
Well, I keep my vibes up by keeping busy, for the most part.
Okay.
Which takes a lot of forms, aside from working. There's I just read a lot, read things that I find interesting, that I find, pertinent to me in my life.
And pertinent to your intellectual inquiry, I feel like. You sort of have a direction with what you're reading and why. What are you reading?
Yeah, well, right now, so another thing I've been doing to keep busy is writing, and I've been working on a memoir to go over the things that's happened to us the last several years. And so in doing so, reading is not only a pleasurable thing, but it's also a bit of research. So I've been reading a lot of memoirs. And just finished Jeanette Walls' Glass Castle, which is incredible. Reading Mick Foley's first memoir, Have a Nice Day.
This is Mick Foley, who's an incredible and historic wrestler.
Yeah.
First memoir.
His first one. He's written a few since then. He writes on himself without a ghostwriter. He's incredibly intelligent and really fascinating, and really one of the kindest celebrities, I think, in the world, which is surprising given his reputation and the type of wrestling he does too, which is kind of a hardcore wrestling.
Wow.
Yeah, and I read Sly Stone's memoir, the late Sly Stone, who was one of my favorite musicians. So I was going to read that anyway, before I even self-committed to writing a memoir. So yeah, I just finished that.
How was that memoir?
It's incredible. It's there's always a tinge of sadness, but I don't know. There is a positivity that he kept through it, even though you, as a fan, you could see things being diminished and wanting more from, but he never felt like he had to give more, in a way. Which is interesting, I think.
And we recently watched the documentary,
which is Questlove's
documentary, which is incredible. And it seems like toward the end of his life, it was really about reconnecting with family. And is that in the memoir itself?
It is. Yeah, he did. Yeah, it is.
And there's something to be said about that. I feel like there's all this focus all the time on what you're achieving, what you're putting out in the world, what product you're making. And a lot of times artists are completely avoiding or even being completely toxic within their family responsibilities. And so there's something to be said for at the end of your life, I think, to actually embracing your family and the people around you and being there for them. And it sounds like he did that.
Yeah, he really devoted himself to being a family man. And one of his daughters, I think maybe his daughter who's a DJ in California, I think it was her, who said that, he's just a normal 80-something-year-old man now who just wants to order a pizza with all the toppings on it. And, he certainly had every right to be that. He doesn't owe anyone anything. So
Yeah, hell yeah.
He gave more than enough during his time. So, that, and, also, I still remain passionate about music, so, listening to records.
Oh, there's Mila. By the way,
I was hunting for good records.
Sorry, babe. I just want to say you were going to hear tip-tapping of little paws and flapping of ears, and that is Mila, our amazing dog, who is here in this space. So sorry I interrupted you.
No, that's all right. Also recording music, always working on new Yackez things, picking away at things, trying to get someone to work on it too.
Now, I tell John, put it in the calendar. If it's going to... I'm very regimented now. The journal writing's in there. My healing strategies are in there. If we want me to record some vocals, we got a plan for it. And it's got to go in the cal. Even though we live together and this somehow we should just be doing everything all at once. No. Let's put it in the cal, babe. So there are really exciting Yackez songs that we've just been sitting on. New ones. And also, what is my deal too? I don't know, something about with my age. I do want more legacy strategies in place. I want the stuff released. I want it copyrighted. I want more of these official things in place. And then that's where it gets a little more daunting, right? But you're just open to just creating constantly, no matter, you don't even care who looks at it. You're very much just let's just do it all the time. Doesn't matter. And I'm very much if I'm doing it, how is it reaching people? And maybe that's the choreographer in me, the community.
I think it's always important just to, when you have ideas and you're creating things and you're creating a backlog of stuff, that it's good to have, because as you see, when we have done shows, we're able to pull out new stuff.
Okay, so much new stuff. Yeah. No, it's exciting.
And if it wasn't for writing and recording those things, we wouldn't have that to do. True.
So, and there's now, come on, you got to talk about the records. I mean, you're a record collector.
I think you've gotten more kind of cooler records.
Well, I think it's just a matter of sometimes when we go shopping, I'm the one who finds stuff in real time in spaces. I sniff out things, but I feel like whenever you're collecting, it's not sneakily, but you're getting your stuff not at stores. I go
to Discogs.
You go to Discogs. All of a sudden, stuff's coming in the mail. You're getting packages.
Yeah.
Weird. You're getting all kinds of packages of you pretty much have every live late stage Miles Davis recording that has ever that there is. Do you not?
I don't know if I have every one,
but
it's not late stage.
Really, it's not all late Miles.
Well, it's mostly the 1970s, late 60s through 70s.
Oh, God, so there's later than.
Well, late stage is the 80s, early 90s.
Okay, that's true. Okay, sorry to be. I guess I kind of in my mind.
It's really his beginning of his electric phase and his real electric funk experimentations,
which to me is the pinnacle.
Yeah, the 80s he started going more into produced. It became very 80s sounding, and it's not so much my thing.
Yeah.
I mean, there were moments that were great. But yeah, the 70s, I think, is my favorite period.
Me too. But you seek after the rare live recordings that are happening internationally.
Well, it's kind of amazing, too. Like, there's so many bootlegs. And they're readily available, too. Like, I found those in the local store here in town, in Middletown, Rock Fantasy. I've gotten a couple there that are incredible. Taken from like radio broadcasts in Europe. Yeah.
Oh God, that's so good. And I'm not always in the mood. I have to be, when it comes to more. Although no, it's not true. His electric stuff is pretty dang funky, so I can almost be in the mood for it. But the moment something gets to that complex level that requires just a little bit more of your listening, I have to be in a mood. That just can't be on. I feel like you can kind of listen to difficult music kind of any time of day. Is my sense. So sometimes it's just in the morning, eggs going, and you got Sun Ra, and I'm like, oh, I'm not ready. I need to be in a mood. Anyway, okay, so we digress.
But aside from that, just I keep busy, just doing, staying on focusing on the small details, doing stupid stuff around the house. Yeah.
Stupid, important. Like, right? The stupid things are like the major things when they accumulate. They're so important. The daily work.
Yeah. Yard work. Yeah.
This is where you and I connect because my version of yoga is what's called sadhana, which is the daily spiritual work. And some of the most profound spiritual work is that mundane stuff of caring for home, caring for your environment, caring for the, in our case, it's the season to care of the yard, take care of it. And you're really, without knowing it, I think you have a very strong sense of sadhana in how you care for what is the everyday. Even our animals, like really zoned in on their feeding, their this, their that, all the stuff. You've got the meticulous, like daily rhythms down. Yeah, and I think that does keep your vibe high.
Sure. I mean, and right now I'm just also preparing the house and stuff too because of an extended period of being away from it coming up. So that's really the focus these few days.
Yeah.
Making sure the grass is cut, the bird feeders are full. Trying to fill up holes left by the groundhog that's been living in our yard. Mila's
under my dance deck. It must be from a new family because Mila got a hold a couple of years ago of a young. Didn't kill it, but it was scary and terrible, and didn't kill it. It got away, but its whole family left for a long time, and now
barely got away. I had to pry the little thing from her mouth.
Yeah, and then it ran. It was able to run. It probably had so much adrenaline and all of that stuff. But we have not had any visitors until this season. One very bold, young, fluffy blonde groundhog is really making its little presence known. Yeah, and Mila has now gotten a hold of its scent, and yeah, we're just monitoring this a lot for sure.
I think our hope is that by making enough noise before we let Mila out, it evades her jaws until it's time to hibernate again.
Yes, we're doing a lot of clapping and announcing of yourself, which I feel like oh my God, I used to do that living in New York City. Sometimes clapping and announcing, going into your apartment for the little critters that are hello, because I don't engage the critters. I don't kill or do anything with, but I'm just clap and stomp and hey, get away now. Here I am.
You did that?
Yes. Oh my God, before walking into a dark room, sure. A lot of times we're like, la, 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 peep, 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 and stomping and clapping. You just thought I was being me.
Yeah, you're just kind of a noisy person by nature. So.
Oh my God. So back to the stamping and clapping. Now, okay, so this brings me to, all right, I'd love to, can I go now? Can I talk about
you're just chomping at the bit. When can I talk?
Oh my God. So how do I keep high vibes? Speaking of clapping and stomping and creating vibrations. Okay, I've got a little list of how I keep my vibes up. 1, sound baths. I mean, I facilitate sound baths, yes, but I also make sure that I participate in them as someone that gets on the ground and feels those vibes. I always make sure if I see something happening, 1, all you have to show me is multiple gongs. If there's more than 2 or more gongs, I'm there, done. There's a lot of sound baths that happen all over the place in Hudson Valley in the city. I'm not going to show up to every one per se unless I really know the facilitator and I'm interested in, what's happening. But if there are multiple big instruments, or if I know there's going to be a whole array of instruments, I show up. I don't care. There was an incredible one recently at Yoga on the Wallkill in Montgomery. Jay Knipe was the facilitator, 6 gongs.
Wow.
And multiple Tibetan bowls, multiple glass bowls. And it was heavenly. I make sure to get to those. My body really responds. I do feel like it clears. Whether or not you believe in esoteric stuff about energy body, there's just a real thing that happens when your muscles of your body receive the sound vibration from some big quality instruments. The muscles relax, just period. Yeah. They don't tensen up in the presence of those things. That's what I have found.
Would you say you could also get the same kind of sensation, like certain people, maybe not you, maybe not from going to on the same level as like a huge sound bath, but just like even like being in a room and lighting a candle?
Yes. Oh, I thought you were going to say going to a concert with big loud speakers or like a techno thing. That when folks are like, I'm going there, the speakers are loud, maybe you protect your ears, but you feel this vibration from the speakers. It's the same. Okay. I would say that. And yeah.
Well, I don't know how calming that is. But.
Well, but it can be like really relaxed. You feel something after you go to a concert, right? You're like, you've spent this time with other people and literally your body has been buzzed by freaking woofers. Yes. So I think it's similar to that. And yes, sitting and quietly with yourself and lighting a candle and just having some kind of sense of ritual absolutely calms the spirit. There's just no doubt. And yeah, I mean, we're all involved in various rituals, whether or not we know it, right? Even just sitting and lighting a candle before a bath is a ritual. So
and that's all you do to keep your vibe?
No, so that's one.
Oh yeah, we ran out of time for today.
That's it. I have a daily journaling practice. Absolute daily, right? I mean, don't ask me questions. Don't ask me about the day. Don't look at me funny before I've gotten to do that. No, it is how it's my goal to live in alignment with spirit and to really live in alignment with my values and with a certain sense of integrity. And the writing practice gets me like attuned to that every day. So, and sometimes there's meditation involved with that, more times than others. And if I don't get to do a little meditation, then it's definitely the writing practice every day. And sometimes I'll have to skip a day. But even if I skip it in the morning, I end up doing some kind of reflection later in the day, or I get to double writing the next day or something. So that's 2. Number 3, being super intentional about community. If there is a monthly healing circle that I find I get a lot of benefit from, I show up to it. If there is a weekly sort of movement community class, all these things are virtual, I show up. So I've definitely have been like kind of committing to those things. I've been doing Michelle Boulet's One Dance. I've been going to Evaya Asentewa's healing circle that's monthly. And then adding on little ones. Sometimes I get to the mindfulness journaling group at Mount Sinai for multiple myeloma community. I just make sure to tap into community. I move every day. And that has taken the form of PT exercises and really monitoring. Is it too much? Is doing the full hour too much? Yes, there's pain. Then I back off. And just like really paying attention to its effect in my life. So there's that. There's rehabilitative movement. And then there's also like really making sure to aimlessly move for pleasure purposes. Like to just like what is my body saying and needing, and it's not about trying to make the body better. And I have a practice of that I tend to like roll around either on cushions or bed or something. But that's what joining Michelle Boulet's One Dance has been a way to do that within community. And that's been really nice because I feel like the way Michelle Boulet facilitates that space is that you could really be completely in your own practice for whatever you want, but there's a leader there. And you move every day. What is your daily movement practice?
You mean aside from dancing on Zoom?
Yep, you dancing on Zoom?
Well,
When's that happening, honey? I want to see tapes.
We have to go to my OnlyFans.
Oh my God! If you had an OnlyFans, I would love it.
It's just for feet stuff.
Oh my God.
Dog walks.
Yes.
Mila goes for dog walks every day.
Multiple, right?
Well, yeah, usually 2. One big one.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sometimes I join the big one.
Yeah, usually. Often. And as she's gotten older, the walks is not as long as they used to be.
No. And yeah, we keep them shorter and she's doing better. So you gotta watch. With the effect of the movement every day, but everyday movement. And I would say you're on that. We don't have an electric, but you have the push. It's a non-electric little lawnmower.
Yeah.
You push that thing around and you do a lot of weeding and squatting from all that stuff.
Sure.
I'm a movement professional, so I'm watching your movements, honey.
Okay. She's peeking through the little blinds.
Let me spy the mechanics. Yeah. So, yes, there's movement every day. So, yeah, even for me, aside from these various forms of movement I'm doing, I make sure I try to take a family walk to bond with you and Mila as much as I can. Mm-hmm. I don't get to them every day, but I try to do the long walk with you guys every day. Mm-hmm. And I'm almost finished up my list. I wrote this as, what's your rhythm? Oh, yeah. So there's like the daily rhythms. There's the dailiness. Uh-huh. You have your daily things that you need to tap into that allow you to feel like
coffee. Yeah, just coffee.
Yeah, okay, grounded, high vibe. I've got my things that are daily, and then I have my things that are not daily, but that sort of come in a different kind of cycle. So some of this is related around medical treatments, like if knowing I'm going into radiation, all of a sudden there's like this different kind of protocol that I had, different kind of practices that I was doing. And sometimes I don't know what that is. And I will pull some tarot cards. I will pull some oracle deck cards. I'll sit. I will smudge, meaning sort of light some herbs in a space and have a little ceremony with myself to tap into intuition. And that will tell me what the next 2 weeks or like, okay, the period of radiation, what will that look like? Mm-hmm. Maybe what do I need to be doing? And I get answers. Similarly, I may do a daily meditation at some point in a day. Sometimes that looks like 3 minutes. In the middle of PT, if I'm also starting to feel my nervous system getting weary or like, I'm feeling funny about what's happening, I'll stop and I'll breathe for 3 minutes and try to integrate the exercise I just did with my sense of calm. So that's my meditation for that day. The meditations that happen on a different kind of cycle would be a longer chakra meditation. Again, I'm about to step into a different threshold, a different time period of things. Am I starting a project? Is a new medical treatment happening? Or does my body just feel a little confused and weary? I'll lie down, give myself a longer chakra meditation to just really settle myself and understand what's next. Smudging of the house.
So, as you're preparing to go to the hospital for a little brief stay.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Are you going to try to bring some of this daily practice, this world that you live in now with you?
I'm glad you asked me this question, John.
Keep it on track.
Because I am. Mm-hmm. I 100% am. I have right here next to me, you don't see it. I'm not going to turn the camera, but I have my beautiful altar here in my studio. I'm bringing a smaller version of my altar. I'm bringing a beautiful picture tile that has family members, bringing pictures of family into the hospital space, bringing the things that I need. I wear shirts that have a little pocket always so I can put glass cleaner and headphones in the pocket so I can listen to ASMR at all times. That if someone calls me, I can have a phone call with headphones at all times. The sense, of routine and things that I need are coming to the hospital. Cushions to be able to, I know that my spine does not react well with the hospital bed, so I've got cushions for sacrum. I always have the cushions for car and movie theater, and I walk around with portable cushions.
And an iPad for the always necessary below deck.
Yeah. Well, how are we going to do this? Sometimes we would watch things at the same time together. It's more so for ASMR. That's where, during the night, like little whispery, tappy things that are in my ears so that the machines don't go. But we'll figure out our below deck strategy. This reminds me, one of our future episodes will be about escapism, and
which for us is mostly just below deck.
It's below deck, and I don't want to get into it now because we're going to have a whole episode about this, and there is a new below deck season happening now. Captain Carey, who I love, and Captain Jason's season of Below Deck Down Under just ended. What did you feel about that season?
It was kind of boring.
Yeah. But maybe that's okay. There wasn't. Maybe he is such. I feel like he runs a tight ship. No pun intended. But he has really strong. He has really clear boundaries and strong movement and spiritual practice. You can tell. And I think it was reflected in his season. It's not so super toxic and dramatic.
Well, it did. The season started off with their continuing trend of problematic bosuns. But he quickly rooted that out.
He rooted it out. The captains that don't pay attention and are just like, this is beyond me to take care of, blah. It's the most toxic seasons because you can't leave these folks to themselves. You got to be in there handling shit.
Yeah, which I think Captain Lee learned the hard way that season with
he did.
Was it Ashton? Was the bosun?
Yes.
And, and it was just a whole stew of toxicity. Anyway, for another time.
We are going to be talking more about this later, but to end,
this is just going to turn into a below deck podcast. Where we just,
that would be amazing.
Every episode is just going to be about us talking below deck.
Maybe we'll be popular then.
No, maybe people care.
Okay, so I just want to wrap up that one. So when going to the hospital, bringing a small and portable version of your world. And I believe that these objects have been blessed with the daily practice that's happening. Literally, I'm doing blessings as I've revealed to you now with some smudging herbs and casting blessings all over the house constantly, and to myself and to our family members and everything. And so those objects, as much as they can, portable versions of them get brought to that space. And let me tell you, nurses feel it. They are like, this room, and it might just be the smells, right? I bring my lavender hand sanitizer that makes the whole room smell like lavender, and they're like, this is amazing in here. It's personalized. Don't, when you go somewhere, make the space yours. I don't even wear the hospital robes. I wear my own pajamas. I need to feel like I am me with my world intact. So that's my advice about going into institutional spaces like that. We are going to finish with two things that we did that raised our vibes during our adversity, which is kind of around medical. Yeah,
and your adversity
chaos.
Could be you may not be battling disease. You may be just feeling stuck with your job. You may be feeling weighed down by the current state of politics in the nation. You may may be having family troubles.
Yeah.
You maybe keep your vibes up for all kinds of blank.
Yeah. I don't think we can say enough about the current state of chaos and authoritarianism and really oppressive powers that are really trying to assert themselves into our world. And you're fighting that. Your battle can be against that 100%. And even more so, you need to retreat.
Or it could just be against a landlord. It could be against...
True. That's really true. So the way we're wrapping up with two things that we did. Throw a party. and go on a little spontaneous trip. So a week ago, and this was just really a wish of mine, was that if I'm going to go into the hospital, I want to throw a small party for loved ones to come around me and kind of send me off to the hospital. That was the feeling. That was the intention around it. And even though it was like, we even kept asking, is this safe? Like, with me being immunocompromised, is this okay to do? And I just leaned into my intuition and I was like, this is something I've wanted, and everything around it has said, this is beautiful and bright and good to do, and yes, do it.
And we kept it safe by keeping it an outdoor barbecue in the yard.
Yes, and we also, I felt like I was thinking a lot about the access protocols that disability activists and artists that I've been in contact with now, like, create a beautiful access document of what do you need to allow people to be invited into the space. I feel like I created the invite in the email to have that sense. We created a rain date and put that up front. If it's raining because it's outdoors, we're going to pick a different date, and we did. We just everything was, we sort of casted the spell of safety around it, I think, in so many ways. And it was small and it was really lovely, and children were on my dance deck and with the beautiful big cushions, like, dancing, and it felt like choreographic activation to me. I mean, I loved it, and I got to DJ, as always, the party playlist, and and you were at the grill.
Yeah, it wasn't so relaxing for me.
But did it feel like it raised your vibes?
No, not at all.
Oh no. Well, wait a minute. Okay, here's what did, and I know you agree with this. And this is also how a small party of whatever size, it could be inviting 1 or 2 friends over. You clean the house incredibly, right, before they're going to come. And then if you follow the rule of cleaning immediately, like as people are leaving or after they leave, then you get to enjoy an impeccably clean house afterward, and you feel like a new guest to your own house. Don't you agree?
Sure.
I mean, yeah, you were that we were both like, the house feels so good.
Well, and it felt good too, going on vacation literally the next day after the party and coming back and the house was still clean.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it's the preparation for the party, it's the after the party, and the house being like renewed with the energy of the party and being cleaned because people have to come over. Mm-hmm. That raised the vibe. And then, we went.
Yeah, for instance, have a condo in Delaware. We got to go to the beach and swim and just get away.
Yeah, we took a little spontaneous trip. And it also felt like, is this, we always ask that question, is this okay to do? Is it safe to do? Immunocompromised?
But you find strategies of keeping things safe for you, but still maximizing the fun while doing so. Yeah. Which we did.
Yeah, and it did. It felt so good.
There's a lot of ice cream.
It felt good to soak up sun rays, some water. This weather has been
soaking up ice cream.
Well, I'm going to get to the ice. Ice cream was a big part. By the end, it was like, okay, this Delaware beach area, we found our ice cream. Yeah. And last night we found our ice cream here in Hudson Valley too.
Ice cream is not hiding. It's pretty easy to find.
Well, this has been our reality since leaving New York City and living in more of a kind of a small, this is called a city, but it feels like a small town. Yeah. And then now we've been visiting this area of Delaware, which is called the Quiet Beaches. Beautiful. It feels similar to Hudson Valley to me. It's like a small town vibe.
Sure.
And these small town vibes are about ice cream shops. Every awesome small town in Hudson Valley every town has at least one incredible homemade, sort of family ice cream shop. And this is what you do. You do ice cream.
Yeah.
And even at the Quiet Beaches of Delaware, it's like the teens, what's their spot to go at night?
It's packed.
Their spot to go.
Everyone's at the ice cream
Everyone's at the ice cream place. Ice cream is so good. So, we've been raising our vibes with
ice cream.
Frozen cow milk, sugar, ice cream.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, hey, that's what you got to do.
So, that's it. Mm-hmm. The secret is focus on the small things. Things that bring you joy, which could be ice cream, below deck,
Yeah, what are the small things in your community? The things on TV. What other communities are you tapping into that make you feel good? Let me tell you, on the YouTube, this will be a YouTube video. This is going to be on so many different places. But leave in the comments, what do you do to get your vibes up? It would be so cool if people could share that in the comments, because then there'd be like a little log of.
But nothing nasty. You can leave that on my OnlyFans under the feet pics.
I want to spy your OnlyFans, babe.
You have to get the subscription first.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much.
This has been Yackez Life Talk. We'll catch you down the road.
We sure will. Bye-bye.